Yes, they have. Some of them have been able to get out of Ukraine and take shelter in other countries, but they're still looking for a true fresh start here in the United States. This is something they've been working on for a while now, and this weekend they'll finally get to meet those people they've been working so hard to help. Something else that's pretty cool about this truck is that John Bethay's son's initials are actually on it as well. Sheriff deputies spent hours going through Nia Bradley's house with members of the Mobile District Attorney's Office.
The items that are being taken, from the home, we believe that to be, proceeds from illegal monies.
Investigators searched room by room and even the attic to find several items believed to be purchased illegally by Bradley with funds from the Pritchard Water Board.
There's just a lot here. I've never seen anything like it.
Some of the items include a large variety of long guns, including rifles and shotguns, along with several handguns. But that wasn't all. Investigators found several Gucci bags, stacks of name brand shoes, including Nike, Adidas, and Jordan, along with multiple Louis Vuitton bags.
There are potentially hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of stolen merchandise in the house.
The yard being filled with items truly puts into perspective how serious this investigation is.
It's just mind-blowing that, first of all, that somebody would still steal public funds, but then, to purchase these vanity items, it's infuriating.
The Mobile County Sheriff's Office also arrested Nia Bradley's husband, Anthony Bradley, and charged him with receiving stolen property in the first degree. As investigators load a trailer full of evidence, Chief Assistant District Attorney Keith Blackwood says it's the start of a long process.
This is an investigation that will take a period of months. The prosecutions will take months, but they are going to happen, and they're going to be done the right way.
As the war in Ukraine nears the 7-month mark, Ukrainian families are still coming to terms with what's happening in their home country.
There have been fires, battles, and shelling in our city in recent months. Our city has been captured by Russia.
Some people were able to escape, like Alex Pill, who was able to make it across the bridge to Switzerland.
Be very scary because the Russian army shooting in this time.
But unfortunately, his pregnant wife Olga is still in Kiev.
She's worries every day. She's right now lives near alarm. The Russian Federation.
Meanwhile, Natalia Skopina managed to make it to Ireland, where she and her husband live in a refugee house with 200 people.
When we got there were no showers or kitchens.
Local businesswoman DeWanda Schwartz is trying to help. She joined a group called You for You. It's a government program that allows people to sponsor Ukrainians to bring them to safety and provide them housing. Schwartz has sponsored both families in hopes of bringing them to Mobile.
We have the availability to be able to offer them our home, and it just seemed like it was a great opportunity to be able to bring them to safety.
But getting them over here is still a challenge.
We are really just hoping to be able to get them here safely, and so the greatest need right now is the flights.
Now Schwartz and the families are asking for any help to get them to their new home and a fresh start here in Mobile.
We have nowhere to return.
We want to see happy our children.
This Tuesday morning crash on Highway 98 in Alberta took the lives of 2 Baldwin County men, including 42-year-old John Bethay, who was a mail carrier. But before he delivered mail, he was the very first employee of Automatic Wrecker and Towing Service and a close friend of owner Levon Parr.
We went to school together and went all the way through middle school and high school together. We used to ride to school together and ride the bus together.
Bethay started as a service tech in 2017 and was promoted to service manager before choosing a new career in April of this year. Parr says he was one of the most selfless people he knew.
If he had $10 and you asked him for $5, he'd give you that or give you all of it. He never said no to anybody. He was always willing to help where he could.
Parr says that same personality carried over into his work life, like last year when he was on a service call and found out the customer didn't have enough money.
He was willing to take the money out of his pocket to pay for it, and so me and him come to an agreement that we would offer the services to them for free. He was just all joyful about that situation because the lady needed a battery in her car and he was able to install a battery and get her on her way.
Even though he left the company in April,
this is John David Bethay.
There's still signs of him around the business.
This truck here is an autism awareness truck, and David asked if we could put initials on the puzzle pieces, and I agreed to it. And so That's the reason this truck right here is so special to the company, is because everywhere this truck goes and the driver that drives it every day gets to ride around with David's name on the side of this truck.
Parr says they plan to add more pieces with Bethea's date of birth and date of death on them, so they can put that logo on every truck going forward to make sure his name lives on.
Every one of our service techs here was trained by his foundation, so we want to keep his legacy living on as long as we can.
They call themselves Life Changer Manufacturing, and it's the perfect name for this group of Chickasaw High School students.
They're changing people's lives around the world.
For about a year and a half, these students have been working hard to make prosthetic legs for amputees in other countries.
I want to help those who literally cannot move or walk and try to give them a spark in their life.
The group has already helped change lives in Latin America, where the prosthetics have been fitted on people in need. Now they're going to take it a step farther.
The students are actually going to get to fit the legs onto amputees, and that's the real exciting part.
A small group of life changers will head to Honduras to personally fit 20 prosthetic legs onto amputees. It's a personal trip for 11th grader Benjamin Cruz, who gets to help people while learning about his heritage firsthand.
That's where my family's from. They were born there. They left right around when my dad was 7, and they never came back.
Now Cruz is ready to see Honduras for himself while making a difference.
To be able to help them get back on their feet, to help their families, to go back to work, it's awesome.
Now with the finishing touches in place, they'll board an early morning flight on their way to change lives.
It's good that we get to help them. If they're asking for help, we need to help them.
Once we make these kids world changers and problem solvers and critical thinking, there's nothing these guys aren't going to be able to accomplish in their life.
This guitar is unlike most of the ones you've seen before. In late 2020, it was an oak tree in Bienville Square that was destroyed by Hurricane Sally. That's until the Mobile Arts Council gave artists a chance to turn the damaged trees into works of art. One of the artists was Chris Phelan, who originally had a different idea.
We originally were going to make just a table with it because I wasn't even making guitars.
That's until Phelan started his guitar business in 2021.
And then, had this piece of wood in the shop, didn't really know what to do with it, and then kind of an aha moment.
Step by step, Phelan transformed the heart-shaped piece of oak, and 3 months later, turned it into this fully functioning Bienville oak guitar.
I just kind of wanted to, do something outside of the box. I don't think it's every day that you can hear a tragedy turn into music.
The guitar is a piece of Mobile history, but it's also a piece of Phelan's family history.
This was actually the place where her and my grandpa met for the second time and decided to start dating. It's kind of cool to hear the family ties to this, and I guess without Bienville Square, in a way, my family wouldn't be the way it is now.
For now, the guitar will be on display at the Mobile Arts Council with a collection of other pieces of art made from the fallen Bienville trees. But after March 31st, it goes right back to Phelan's home.
I just made it more sentimental and more of a family heirloom in a way. It's something I'll definitely never part with.
In Mobile, Daeshen Smith, Fox 10 News. It's the talk of the Spanish Trace neighborhood in Saraland, a bear dropping in for a visit.
I think we have a daddy bear that we see occasionally. There was a mom and 2 cubs.
But for Rick Budd and Kai West, seeing this bear is nothing new. So much so, she's almost part of the family.
She usually is here every other day and sometimes every day, just coming to visit.
I talk to her every morning. I tell her, good morning, Delilah.
Here's Delilah's visit from this morning, where you can see her trying to work her way into the bird feeder. It's something Bud and West say she tries to do regularly. The bear, they say, previously got forceful about it.
She's kind of shaking it through, and she said, oh, I want more, so she would just pull on the pole and bent it down. So after straightening it a few times, it broke, and it was time to get something a little bit more sturdy.
Videos of Delilah have several thousand views already, which came as a surprise for Bud and West.
It's very crazy.
It's an everyday thing for us, so for it to go viral and people, see it, I don't know, we don't think much of it when we see it.
Because it happens so often, they aren't concerned about the frequent visits from the bears. Instead, they look forward to the next time they stop by.
You have to respect them. They are wild. When I open up the door and I come out, I looked at, is she here or not? I don't want to startle her. We just enjoy each other's company.